Coming up next on the Jeff Crilley Show, he once was blind, but now he sees. A true story of amazing grace just ahead.
Many are predicting that the worst is yet to come, which is unfortunate, said one person here. Until now, they've enjoyed the reputation of being the nation's icebox.
Watched a burglar in his home this morning by webcam.
As a journalist of over 25 years, stories are what make my world turn.
Reporting live from the Dallas newsroom tonight, Jeff Crilley, Fox 4 News.
But in 2008, I took the jump from my familiar life and started a PR firm from my home.
We're talking about anyone with a camcorder like the one I'm using becomes a television network.
We started slowly growing the company, and we now have over 100 clients, and we've branched into the world of live digital broadcasting. I now own 8 different TV studios and have a huge team, and the stories that I now get to share are sometimes the most important of my life. Life has a funny way of coming around full circle. This is the Jeff Crilley Show.
Well, when you think about the song Amazing Grace, I mean, doesn't that describe all of us? We're all blind at one point, and hopefully we eventually see. My next guest has lived that, and now he's helping others experience amazing grace. Tom Lyman is in the studio. He's the Joy Hour guy. Thanks for coming on the show.
Thank you, Jeff. It's good to be here.
All right, we should first explain the Joy Hour guy. I mean, we think of happy hour, but this is different. What is the Joy Hour?
Well, at first it was just an idea. I was just a few months out of treatment, so I went to rehab, inpatient, outpatient, for drug and substance alcohol abuse for many, many years. And so 3.5 years ago, God got my attention and I surrendered, and it's been a beautiful life ever since. But Joy Hour started just a few months out of rehab with a thought of, I like to party and I like to meet people, and I cannot just see myself doing AA meetings and staying clean and sober. And so I took a pool table, basketball hoop, and a ping pong table from my house down to my construction warehouse. We had 30 people, and then we had 200. And since then, we've had over 30,000 people and over 100 events, multiple locations in Washington State, and now coming to Dallas here this year to start another one. But Joy Hour is creating a culture of connection in our communities. It's all about connection versus isolation. It's happy hour for the whole family, and there's everything you can imagine in the building to connect people one with each other without the need for screens and video games or other things that are dopamine stimulating. This is all about service work, love, kindness, respect, and just meeting your neighbor. It's a big block party called Joy Hour instead of happy hour.
Wow, I love that. Much more on that in a minute. I want to talk about Dennis, because before the show we were visiting, and Dennis is a very important figure in your life. Talk about Dennis, and we're going to put his picture on the screen.
Absolutely. Dennis, I love you, brother. We went to Alaska together. Just had a strong connection with him. Knew him a little less than a year, but I felt like I knew him a whole lifetime. And he was a part of my story. I was a part of his story. But Dennis is gone now, and he was alone by himself and is no longer here due to choices. And, I wish I could turn back the hand of time and help change that. But I think that it's important to use things like that to challenge us each day to find another Dennis to be a part of their story. And so I love you, Dennis. I do things every day in honor of you, and trying to help others by saying, hey, you're not alone. It's not worth it. Don't put that in your body. Don't pull the trigger. Don't do whatever it is that might be going through your mind, sir or ma'am. You're not alone. A lot of other people are struggling with loneliness and depression, and it's very real. But we are here to be God's hands and his feet by loving each other and being there with each other and normalizing conversations that aren't happening because of shame or embarrassment. And I don't stand for that at all. I believe in real talk. I believe life is short, and I believe that we're here for a purpose, and that's to help others not continue to put garbage in their bodies that could take their life, whether that's drunk driving, whether that's substance abuse, or anything else. And so, Dennis, every day I look for another one of you, or the Tom that I used to be, I ask myself, why am I alive? And I think it's to use what I went through to help others. I know what it's like to be so high that I'm hiding in the bushes, afraid from everybody, and just hadn't slept in days. I know what it's like to be doing things that I was ashamed of and didn't want my family to find out, and a double life. I had it for many, many years, and unfaithfulness to my wife and everything that went along with my addiction that it just tore me up inside. And so I strive to find another person each day to say, hey, I got you, man. It's okay. I don't care what anybody else says. As long as there's breath, there's hope, and we have this moment, and let's go this way instead of this way. And so I do look for a dentist to be a part of their story.
All right, to illustrate that, you sent me a picture. We're going to put it on the screen, and I want you to narrate this. What are we looking at?
Well, I guess you'd say a very successful man in one of those pictures. And I'll let you look at which one and tell you a little bit about it. Been in business for 30 years, been very successful in a number of areas, construction, restaurant, many other ventures that did turn out pretty successful with finances. And that bottom picture, I think you can tell it kind of went to my head. I got a little prideful. I had about 9 cars, 2 boats, was doing steroids, was benching 400, had girlfriends, just living a total wild life, cocaine, you name it, just daily, every day, just blowing and going, and financially doing pretty well in that bottom picture. As you can tell, the middle picture, it started to get worse. I started to have the sleepless nights, fearing that my life was going to come to an end, knowing that my marriage would come to an end when she found out my lifestyle. And then the top picture is, of course, where it started to get real bad, and you can see that smile's fake. And still financially doing very well, but living a total double life, hadn't told anybody. But then I did. And my wife of 22 years is still with me, thank God. And she is using our pain to help others as well. But during those 3 pictures, I didn't think there was any hope for my marriage to stay together, any hope for my kids to love me, any hope for anybody to love the real Tom, because the real Tom was a liar, a manipulator, a narcissist, and I covered it all up with success of business and money. The other picture there, and the picture you see here today, is a clean and sober and accountable father that has a complete open dialogue with the people I love as far as my daily disciplines, my non-negotiables. And I'm proud of the man I am. And my kids are doing great. My wife's doing great. And God has completely taken all the broken pieces and put them into a beautiful story. And I think it's specifically to help others. My wife's a counselor. I do coaching and public speaking, all for the purpose of finding my dentist, finding the Tom I used to be, and saying, bro, I got you, God's got you, and there's a roadmap that can get you back to where you have purpose and you live a clean and sober life. And interestingly enough, out of all those pictures, the one where I'm financially not doing as well is the one where I have the biggest true smile of joy and peace. So learned some things the hard way, but I am 42 months clean and sober, and I'm thankful for every day. And I have the victory over those things because of coaching and counseling and things that I've invested in where other people have really stepped in and helped me. And God's been leading the path, and I've been following it. So if you're looking for help, if you're going through anything, there is hope. As long as there's breath, there's hope. You don't have to live in silence. You don't have to live with a fear of if anybody finds out. Just be you. Life is short. Be you and find freedom and find hope and purpose. I believe in this. It's recovery for a period of time. Discovery. God will start to show you some things. He showed me Joy Hour. He showed me coaching. He showed me write a book, things like that. But then it's action. You have to do it. You have to put in the work. And that will define your purpose of why you're here. So recovery, discovery, action, and purpose. And when we live with purpose, we don't need all those pleasure and comfortable things of this world. We need a good night's sleep with the ones we love the most. So,
wow, that's beautiful. Let's talk about loneliness and emptiness. Because even though you had what the outside world saw as the perfect life, you were empty.
A lot of that came from, of course, my double life, but also the lack of service work. There's been a few times in my life where I have been focused and full of purpose, and it's always been when I'm doing service work for others. And I think God was a great example of that when he came and he served and he loved, and then he was killed and he forgave. So on my days where I'm thinking, what does it mean to be a Christian? Well, it means to be Christ-like. What did he do? Serve, love, forgive. Serve, love, forgive. It's pretty simple. And so with Joy Hour, with Celebrate Recovery, with different things that I do throughout the week for others, it's also really for myself. When I serve others, I go to bed going, I just felt really like what I'm supposed to do. But the old Tom, yes, I used to serve myself with sex, pornography, alcohol, cocaine, steroids, more cars, more boats, just a lot of unnecessary junk. And I was empty. I remember hiding in my garage by myself, 3 o'clock in the morning, couldn't go to sleep because of what a great choice I'd made to put things up my nose or down my throat. And then I'm all alone by myself, isolated. And so a lot of times alcohol and drugs are fun in the beginning, but they always lead to a very miserable life of isolation and loneliness. Connection is the opposite of addiction. And so no matter what we're going through, if it's an addiction to food, it's addiction to Netflix or doom scrolling on our phones, those are addictions. They won't kill you as fast as meth and coke and fentanyl, but sugar will kill as well. It's an addiction. So what I've found overall is the more I'm connected with God and the more I'm connected with others and done service work, that's brought fulfillment and purpose. And it's all about being selfless instead of selfish. But yeah, loneliness and isolation are what a lot of people are going through. And a lot of times they don't know how to get out of it. Like, what's my first step? And I always say, go to a church or a nonprofit or even the food bank or anything in your community and just give 1 hour of your week. Just mop a floor, move the chairs, hand somebody some food at the food bank or anything that you can think of to serve others. And you'll find that just felt kind of right. It felt like that was a good thing to do. And break it down into bite-sized pieces of serving and loving others in the community.
That's beautiful. Early in the show, we talked about the Joy Hour events. We found a great video. Let's go ahead and roll that.
Yeah.
All right, everyone. I'm going to walk through right now and show you what happens in less than 1 hour because of teamwork. So we come into this huge building every month, and there's nothing set up and ready. And we've been here, it looks like, less than 30 minutes so far. And because of the teamwork, it's already getting there. So at the most, it takes an hour, but usually less. They've got a brand new ping pong table coming today. We've got a pool table going on. We got like 3 bouncy houses. They've got this one going up next. Jumpin' Joeys! These guys put in the work, consider contracting. Laconic Pro, these are all volunteers that come and set up every month for the community and just put in a ton of resources. And I've talked about that on the previous video. You can share that with whoever you want, but it's just so much goes into this. And every month we set up, host a huge event for the community, and then put it all away at the end. And as you can see, just a ton of different people. There's still people on the way. Sip Shack. Woo-hoo! So all the people jumping in here and doing this is how it comes together. Excited. We've got brand new toys over here for toddlers. Gonna have to set an age limit on some of this stuff. We'll have adults over here. But just a lot of teamwork. So many people, probably 20 volunteers coming early every single month and staying late. And we've got a ton of food out here, staying warm right now. Thankful for the donations, as I mentioned earlier, rolling smoke and bringing the food today.
So powerful. So at these events, the whole family's together. I can imagine just people of all ages coming together and just a alcohol-free event. And so talk about the feeling that they'll have when they experience this, because you have one coming up in July.
Yeah, absolutely. When it started, there was 30 people. It grew to 200 within a month. And what I started to notice, although I thought it was just happy hour without the alcohol, that's why I started it, was so I could have fun and party. What it quickly turned into is families as well as single individuals, but just longing for connection. You know, it was shortly after we came out of COVID, and so people just long for community and connection where they can just kind of let their hair down and just be around other people. And I got to thinking about all those times I used to, have the drinks and the parties was, we've heard about drinking to like loosen us up. Well, what I noticed at Joy Hour was people were loosened up already. People felt safe. And so it's just a big 5-hour block party. But there's a few minutes when we give out raffle prizes that will say, don't forget about connection this weekend. Turn your phones off. Go to the park with your kids. When you're at the dinner table, put your phone away. It's all about connection versus isolation. Your kids need you. Your spouse needs you. Your friend needs you. And so we just talked for a couple minutes about the importance of that. I think about when I get to the end of my life, when people say, Tom, what do you wish you did more of? And I guarantee you, it's not that I wish I scrolled my phone more often, or I wish I stared at a screen more often. It's going to be, I wish I would have fed the ducks one more time with my daughter. I wish I would have gone fishing with my sons one more time, or went on a walk with my wife. It's those free things in life that are so easy, and they're just right there for us to choose to do every day. And so during the Joy Hour, of course, there's bouncy houses, there's bingo, there's pool tables, there's all kinds. We've had barbers. We had a guy bring a camel. We had face painting. We've had water fights. I mean, you name it. It has been a blast. But really, it's to just have people meet each other. I say one more thing at the event is exchange a phone number today. Meet somebody you've never met, walk up, say, hi, my name is, and get to know each other. And so out of that event, they start to create relationships where now they're going to lunch together, they're going to work out together, they're going to exercise or go on a hike or whatever different people do. So it's not meant to be a networking event, but it is a networking event. It's not meant to be just one thing. It's kind of, I tell people when they come, they'll probably get the thing they're looking for the most, and that's a feeling of, I met somebody, I got connected, and I helped clean up at the end of the day, and I'm kind of proud of myself. That was cool. Whereas the happy hours and the clubs, I'd go home going, I think I met a lot of friends, but I forgot their numbers, or I put their number in wrong, or I forgot about it. Wasn't a true connection. It just felt good, but it wasn't real. And to get real, we have to be authentic, we have to be vulnerable, we have to be transparent, and usually that's from opening up about real life and struggles. I still fight depression. I still have anxiety. I still have temptation. I have things on a weekly basis all the time. But I've got friends that we can have real talk and say, hey, bro, how you doing? How you doing in that area? And so accountability and just people you can trust and respect and go through life together.
Wow. I appreciate you so much for sharing that part of your life. You also do something in the spirit of Billy Graham, Jesus Tent Revivals. And we're going to put some video on the screen. I want you to narrate this.
Sure.
This is really old-timey religion, isn't it?
It is.
All right, tell us about these.
Well, interestingly enough, a man and his family from Bellevue, Washington, he was a doctor. He actually had 3 clinics, like 40,000 patients, and he gave it all up to buy a tent about 4 years ago. Braden Anderson, wonderful young man, and they started traveling, and they did 7 cities 3 years ago. This year they had 72 requests.
Wow.
So they have 2 trailers, a couple trucks. Actually, they have another smaller team now too, and they're growing, but they just bring the tent and bring the energy, and then the local churches all get together and help set it up. It's a big effort to set it up and take it down, but it's just an outdoor 3-day worship and music and baptisms in a real environment where you can be real and know that, hey, if you're struggling with something, there is a God ready to heal and to help, and there are people that are also having real talk about these things. So it's a time to break addictions. It's a time to jump and shout if you want to. It's a time to sit and listen if you want to, but it's a lot of music, worship, baptisms, and they travel all over the country. I do see being a part of it more often. I've been to a few of them so far. But just a time where, again, anybody of all ages, of all backgrounds, and all struggles feels safe and loved and normal and we share life together, and we share victories and we share failures together. We celebrate both because these are the stories of our life. And God does take the broken pieces and puts them together for something beautiful if we allow him to, and then we can use that to help other people. And so, yeah, it's a beautiful movement. I'm glad to be a part of it and see lives changed and people come out of there just feeling like they can beat the thing that they've been struggling with the most.
Amen.
And those things usually have brought a lot of shame and embarrassment. And that's what I want to speak against again, is don't have any shame or embarrassment. Life is life. We make mistakes. We make choices. Where do you want to be tomorrow? That's what matters. Where are you now? And where do you want to be tomorrow? And then get people in your circle that will coach you, counsel you, encourage you to say, we don't have to think or be who we were yesterday. We can be a totally different person. It's going to take a little bit of time. It's going to take some discipline changes, some non-negotiables. But I promise you, if you were to ask me, could my life be this good a few years ago, I would have said no. But it has turned into a beautiful, my marriage is better now than it's ever been. My daughter, my sons, we're doing great. And I want that for other people.
All right, in the minute we have left, talk to the person who's struggling right now and give them some words of encouragement.
Sir, ma'am, you're not alone. There's been a lot of people that have been right where you are. And what they've done, and the best thing I ever did in my life, was I asked for help. And I humbled myself. And I said, I need help. I'm a mess. And a successful business owner of multiple different things that were great in business and all that, I put it on the back burner and I checked myself into a treatment center. I wrote a check for $10,000 and I said, I need help. So whatever you got to do, check into a treatment center, go to a church, call a counselor and hire them. You know, we pay attention to things we pay for. So I encourage you, think about how much you might have spent on alcohol, drugs, and other things, and take that same dollar amount and invest it in you, because you're worth it. So if you spend 10 grand a year on junk, spend 10 grand a year on a counselor or a coach. It's worth it. It's worth it. I'm never going to let up. It's been so worth it, but there is hope for you. Just invest in yourself, ask for help, and get in some circles that will really help you find that. If you want to reach out to me, feel free to. This is what I do now, and I love it, and I'm thankful.
Beautiful. Tom, you have such a gentle spirit about you, and thank you for being so transparent and sharing your journey and your heart and your faith with us. We're going to end with his Facebook page so that you can get in touch with him. The great Tom Lyman. Thanks for coming on the show.
All right. Thank you, Jeff.
You bet. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.